Hello, what Ifus? This is James, and welcome to my farming guide for Dark Side of Dimensions World. Note that I am saying guide. The title of this video is Farming Guide, because I am not providing you with a specific deck, but rather an overall approach to farm these new characters that assumes that you have been playing the game a relatively significant amount. So if we go into our gate, we see our two available duelists, Seto Kaiba, Dark Side of Dimensions, Mokuba Kaiba, Dark Side of Dimensions. And then the only other character that we know about being available right now is Scud, which is a character that showed up for like 1 second before being banished to the Shadow Realm by Aigami in the movie. Take note that I have tens of thousands of keys for these gate duelists. Now, I was gonna say, just load up Duel, burn through Mokuba, farm that way, but that's yes-clicking. That's not big brain. So you see, the reason that we have farming decks is because we have limited resources, we have limited time, we have limited opportunities to farm a certain duelist, be it a gate event duelist where we have to farm tokens to fight them at the gate, or we have to grind standard duelists to fight the roaming duelists, and no matter how much we grind, we can only fight the roaming duelists like once every 20 or 30 minutes. But anybody that would have the Duel deck would also likely have tens of thousands of gate keys just sitting there waiting to be utilized. So this is part of my guide. Just win. Just load up. So these are the decks I've been using to get through the stage missions. A lot of them are use a bunch of traps, spells and traps in one duel. So here's my trusty aquatic farming auto duel deck. Hammer Shark, Atlantean Attack Squad, Starboy, Spine Gilman. Power of the Guardians, and your best back row that you have available. The AI loves to die to Wall of Disruption. So if all you want is 3 of Seto Kaiba's cards, 3 of Mokuba Kaiba's drops, load up the Power Shark, go to the gate, and select Rewards X3. Alright, because again, if you have excess keys, there's no point in spending your time with a farming deck where everything has to go just perfect, and you have to wait until the end. Just get Power Shark and win on turn 4 after popping a Wall of D. But I'm not making this video just to tell you that. I do have an even more big brain approach where we can get everything that we want. Because we also want Scud. And how are we unlocking Scud? Now, this is not confirmed, but I have it on very good authority that Scud requires us to banish the opponent's cards 300 times with your card effect to trigger his unlock missions. His unlock missions are quite easy, but the mission to get to that state is very onerous. And to that end, I have this deck above me. So this deck is Ultra Athletes with Soul Release. Soul Release, banish 5 cards from the opponent's graveyard, and then the Ultra Athletes with UA penalty box. They get to banish, and then after 2 turns on the opponent's end phase, the monster comes back, and you can banish it again. And then, you can place, when the opponent has to discard the cards, you can Soul Release them out. You can destroy some stuff and Soul Release that. That is my deck to grind for Scud, and I'll show some free-to-play options at the very end. But how are we going to make best use of this deck? Well, basically, I think that Kaiba has the better skills. Kaiba has the better drop skills, but Mokuba has the better drop cards. So let's take a look at this real fast. Kaiba has Assault Wyvern. Like, this is pretty good. But when is an 1800 attack monster going to be reliably destroying anything? This is terrible. How are you summoning this? And then this is very situational. you know, you can dump your Magician's Rod, your Magician's Robe, and also you can dump Cyber Darks to negate like a Treacherous, but it's still very situational. Like, it's a second order card. Like, if they have Treacherous, you really negate that Treacherous, but you have to be playing a specific deck and already have Dark Sacrifice set, and it's kind of too messy. Whereas Mokuba's drops, I feel, are going to be requisite for Thunder Dragons when we get a Thunder Dragon EX structure deck in the future. Basically, Thunder Dragons, these Dragon Matrix, Dragon Dark, and then his level up rewards, Thunder Dragon Roar. These are like fodder for the Thunder Dragon extra deck boss monsters, which are very dope and we don't have yet. And they also have a thing called Thunder Dragon Fusion, which is like, you know, it's Neos Fusion. It's analogous to a structure deck. So eventually we'll need the Dark Thunder Dragon from Mokuba, so you might as well get it now. But I don't think that Mokuba's skills are good enough to merit farming for first. So, again, my advice is to use Kaiba to farm Mokuba at the gate using this deck that is above me. And I'm going to show you some replays of that working. And yes, I tested the deck against both Mokuba and Seto, and it worked very nicely. Basically, Mokuba does not have anything. All he has are Thunder Dragons, and they are like they don't have their boss monsters, so they're pretty easy to beat. So we're just gonna have our Ultra Athletes here. Warrior Lady of the Wasteland is going to search our midfielder, and then midfielder has that, and then UA penalty box. Now, important note about UA penalty box. No matter how many UA penalty boxes you have on the field, you only get the banish once per turn. Alright, you can have 3 UA penalty boxes, which I don't recommend because you'll brick yourself out of using Soul Release. You only get the banish once per turn. But that's fine as long as you're buffing up your Ultra Athletes to a significant degree. And then Mokuba just plays stuff in the defensive posture. You banish. And then when you banish Thunder Dragon... I think just when any of the Thunder Dragons get banished from the field, except for the normal one that we already have from the card trader, he draws cards, and then that causes him to deck out, and then we can... and then he has to discard cards, and then we can pop Soul Release. And, you know, Soul Release will reliably get like 10 to 12 banishes per duel. And then your Ultra Athletes, say he doesn't attack, you attack every turn. And then this goes up to like turn 29. So let's say you had 12 attacks where you could banish. So that's roughly 24 banishes per duel. And then that's roughly 11 or 12 duels in order to get the 300 banishes in order to get Scud. UA Blockbacker is great here because if he special summons anything weird, you can just block back it and change it to defensive posture. But each of them ask you that, so make sure that you don't do that. And don't worry, I'll have some free to play suggestions. But I think the hard and fast for this approach is Soul Release. That's your number one. You're basically like all this Ultra Athlete stuff is just stalling and a little bit of extra banishing for you to get Soul Release. So in this particular game, I got 3 full Soul Releases, and that made my obsessive compulsive aspect of myself very happy, because we were very efficiently able to do that. And then here we're using the same deck against Seto. Now Seto is more problematic because he summons very large, he's very capable of summoning very large monsters that you have to constantly juggle. So this has a lower success rate against Seto, because if you don't top deck into your UA penalty boxes, then you're not able to banish your the Vorse Raider. Like, basically everything he has is bigger than your monsters, so you absolutely need either the field spell or the trap. Unlike Mokuba, where every single Mokuba monster, except for the Blue Eyes that he sometimes tributes for, is smaller than any of your Ultra Athletes. Alright, and then here's the big polymerization for the big Baggio. And we're going to banish. When I attacked, I derped out and I didn't click yes on the banish. So instead I attacked into a big defense position, so I took a little bit of damage there. But that's A-okay. Again, remember to activate triple rewards, and you'll be smooth sailing. Now, I think there's one here. Yeah, let's go Soul Release. Now, if you don't have these high-level cards, if you don't have Yubel, what should you do? Just mow a lawn. If you work a job, you know, the next time you go out, don't go out, put that money aside. Go to Walmart, Target, get a $25 Steam or Android gift card, and buy the EX Structure deck, which I'm going to make a video on shortly, and just enjoy the game. So here with Seto, we're juggling all of his monsters with the penalty box. Bear in mind, each penalty box only gives the one banish, but we don't have to touch his monsters, which is good, because that costs life points. Alright, so here, I go for the destroy on the Blue Eyes ultimate. Wait. Okay, anyway, eventually we go for the destroy on the Blue Eyes ultimate. Yeah, once I get big enough, because I want to see Deep Eyes Waito Dragon, which has many nasty effects, none of which we care about, because we're not destroying and we're not targeting. He does do a little bit of burn damage, but that's A-okay, because we have full health. Burn damage on summon, and then we can just banish him, and Seto is going to deck out. So that's what I recommend for farming, is 3x multiplier, use this deck, get skills, get Scud, get the drops, all at the same time. Alright? Now I want to show you some free-to-play options. Again, I would not recommend charging for Scud. I would not recommend digging for Scud unless you have Soul Release, because it will not be great for you. Alright? Right, so you actually don't even need the midfielders to make this work. You do need the UA penalty box, because that's your stalling factor. But you don't need really any midfielders, because we have a card from the box called UA Perfect Ace, and if you use, maybe we can get rid of some of these. Yeah, anyway, so something like this, UA Perfect Ace, and then if you have Red Sparrow Summoner and Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, either two of those destroyed, and then they can search UA Perfect Ace. But again, you do need the penalty box, absolutely. And I recommend the Soul Release, because that's what's actually giving you your banish numbers. That's, 12, 15 banishes per duel. That's going to be how you get it done. And then finally, for the most free-to-play, now I haven't fully tested this. Where is it? Amazonas, basically. Amazonas, you put in Soul Release as best as you can. But Amazonas, and then this is the same idea as Perfect Ace. We have Red Sparrow Summoner, Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, destroy, search Amazonas Princess, search Amazonas Onslaught, and then, we try and get a Queen, and we try and get a Fighter. Queen defense position, Fighter just start attacking, can't be destroyed, and banishes everything. I hope that this has been helpful. If you find that it has been, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.